Good morning, students of class 10. You're welcome back to the online classes now. Let's continue our lesson in history. And we are doing the rise of nationalism in Europe. And we have reached 5.0. So here in 5.0 we are learning now visualizing the nation. In our previous class we have learned a little bit about this. Now today we will talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Visualizing the nation. How can you represent the nation? Some symbol has to be used, and that idea emerged, or the idea was generated during the French Revolution. We will talk about that. During French Revolution, from here the idea of nationalism, the allegory, the personification of a nation, the idea emerged during this period. During French Revolution, artists used the female allegory. Allegory means the portrait of a nation. Allegory to portray, show ideas such as liberty. Liberty means freedom. Liberty, justice and republic. They drew pictures to make people understand, to make them understand that our nation is under threat. So we must free our nation. So people could not understand what is nation. So they have represented the nation through the portraits, through the picture of a female figure. That is called allegory. Liberty, justice and republic. Through different objects and symbols. Liberty means something, the red cap, broken chains, and justice means a female figure with the scale in one hand, weighing scale with the blindfolded eyes. So these are all the symbols for various ideas, to spread various ideas. Now here, liberty, L-I-B-E-R-T-Y. Liberty means red cap or the broken chain, the idea, so that the people could understand. Broken chain, the chain has to be broken, means the country should be free. Justice is generally a blindfolded woman carrying a pair of scale, weighing scale in her hand. That's justice. That was the ideas and symbols used by artists to depict or to explain or persuade people, to make them understand. Similar allegories were invented by artists in the 19th century. In the 19th century also, the people or the artists in the 19th century, they invented different allegories to represent the nation. The nation has to be represented in a form or in the picture as a living being. That's called personification. We have learned in our previous class. In France, the female figure for a nation was named Marigny. In France, they portrayed, they drew the picture of a woman representing the nation of French nation, and she was named as Marigny. She was named as Marigny. Marigny was the female allegory of French nation. She was erected, she was placed, the statues of Marigny, the pictures of Marigny. She was erected in public places to remind the people of the national symbol of unity. We must unite to free our nation. So that was a symbol of unity, to remind the people, so that even an uneducated person can understand. Similarly, Germania. In Germania became the allegory of German nation. In France, it was Marigny, and in German it was Germania. She wears Germania. She means Germania. She wears a crown of oak leaves. She had a crown made out of oak leaves. Oak is the strongest wood in the forest. Oak is the king of the trees. So oak leaves, that stands for heroism in Greece. In Greece, oak leaf represent heroism. That's why Germania had a crown of oak leaves. It was painted. The statues were formed and erected in German cities, various public squares, public places. So similar ideas were spreading in France and Germany. So in our next class, we'll talk about, here in our next class you may not see. So similarly, Germania became the allegory of German nation, and she wears a crown of oak leaves that stand for heroism. So to be continued, 6.0 in our next class. Maybe we are reaching almost, coming to an end portion, almost. 6.0, nationalism and imperialism. So nationalism and imperialism. Imperialism means the rule by the kings, imperial kings. So nationalism and imperialism we'll do in our next class, 6.0. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class and continue our lesson. You must go through online portal every day, so don't miss it. Many of the students, most of the students are not going through it, except they will have a hard time later on. So we can suggest, we can advise, but you need to walk, you need to follow. You are senior students. Very soon you will be facing the real world outside, the competitive world. So you need to be very serious and need to be ready for that beforehand. This is the time to prepare. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class and continue on this. Thank you very much for watching.